the intel change.
Got a big task ahead of her though. First kill coming through the rain, and the second sand. She's done it. She's kept res in this game.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. We're going to be going into the second map of Pain Gaming versus Orgless, and well, so far it's pretty much gone as the script suggested. Pain have won their map pick of Nuke. Now we go into Orgless and see if they can do the same.
Yeah, if they're going to be able to pick up Overpass. Second map here in the best of 3. Orgless, I think it's hard to call how they looked on Nuke. It was shaky at times. They had moments of, you know, big impactful rounds. Individually, they were looking good. I've got to say, for me, Kitty Cat is the player to probably have your eyes on. She seemed very effective, a bit of a deft dealer. Cammy, though, trying to open up this one. Anna will slay her, and already that's Toilet's control taken. And the minimap, it's struggling a little bit, Tom.
It's like bouncing back, but can't keep up. Nice work from the T's. A second couple of kills coming in for them with a big advantage now in this round. Shalina and Pan, two, well, pretty deadly players in the last map. Definitely players to look at on Nuke, but Anna is going ham. Third kill already added for her, and although Shalina, I think, ended the last map with at least 30 kills, this is a bit of an ask.
Yeah, I think 32, an average of 135 ADR throughout that map. Pretty damn good, yeah. You know. She was crisp, I think it's fair to say. Some of the shots she was hitting were very, very tasty. Into this one, though, it would have to be a ridiculous round. A 5K would have to be achieved for her. Walks in, will be punished. That's a 2K for Ela. And Anna with a hat-trick of frags to open it up. That is incredible. Because, as you said, I mean, she's someone that we need to see performing. Definitely one of the players that are up there. All eyes on her for this Orgless side. They have some big names.
Yeah, this is where we need to see them step up, especially considering, like, they've already lost the first map. This literally would be the map that eliminates them if they lose it. So it wouldn't be the best of performances for them, to say the least. Either way, we do actually see, again, it's sort of a half buy into this one. A few players investing. You've got Gabby with the Scout, and then a few pistols invested. Now, we saw this previously, and we were sort of questioning why they didn't invest more. So we'll see if that happens again, where they sort of do a lot of damage. Interesting thing is Marion is just basically pushing this alone. She doesn't have any support. She managed to get quite far out onto the B site, so we are going to see the rotation of the bomb over towards this side of the map, and still have players holding off any sort of rotations. Gabby is going to make her way towards to try and support, as the rest still sit over towards long.
She got some info there as well, going for the jump spot. 3 players towards the site. If she would have connected that tag, they would have been so weak. However, it's only one player that has been slapped down to 11 HP in Marion. The CT is going to begin to rotate back around. We've got Cammy going for the T-spawn approach. Holding in connected though, Lolita. With that UMP, she can cause some havoc here. She should get the instant contact, finds a simple headshot to take down Shalina. If she goes back up the ladder, it could be awkward. However, she spots out Cammy, has the read into this. The B site has been completely evacuated, as they are going to be running away. It'll be a save into the round. They only lose Shalina, and they are willing to give this one over to Orgless. A second round achieved for the T-side team.
Yeah, and actually Cammy, able to take one down, had absolutely nothing to lose. Now, this is where I wonder if she invests maybe a little bit of money, so that you can just sort of look at this and go, okay, we have a chance to do damage. Even if she just brought up a deagle, it really wouldn't be the worst case. She got an extra kill in the last round anyway, and they're going to get 2,900 here. So, like, she's going to get so much money already. Like, she's going to be well over $7,000, but we'll see. Like, they didn't do this previously. They like to make sure they have that extra cash ready for those purchases. So they're going to be looking for those opening pick with the Deeg, but after not finding anything straight away, just going to fall back.
Very aggressive crunch coming through as they gain their control of playground, bombarding their way down. They spot out Kitty Cat as she recoils back. Will backpedal out of there and gets away unscathed for the meantime. It's still a 5-on-5, a slight transfer of damage. Marion entering to the back of the bomb site. Gabby with the scout shot, Tom. Plucks her head off. Cammy as well, going to be beating down to eliminate Lolita. And it is a 3-on-3.
Yeah, an opportunity here for them at least to reduce the economy of Orgless. They're going to be going out. Not going to do a huge amount of damage. And to be honest, they might as well go for something here because they don't really have anything worth keeping. They got so much money coming into the next round anyway, so they might as well just try and do some damage. Pan going to be pushing and hoping to try and find Kitty Cat in the pit. But she's got her claws well and truly dug in. And eventually they will just up to full. I don't really know why Hila faces that. Like, what's the value?
Yeah, not ideal, really. Suffers the fate. And there's the economy coming to effect as well. So Cammy, she went for that large save. She is going to be picking up the AWP here. Full utility as well because of the amount of money they had accumulated. And a kit. There's only 2 players with kits on the CT side. Tons of utility though, however. And Bazina, she's checking out that smoke instantly. Oh, it's the early Molotov across. That's actually going to be quite effective, Tom, to slow down this push from the T's. Deviates them. This could be a heavy long burst, though. Something fast-paced from Orgless, it seems.
Yeah, taking a lot of control early on, and the fact is at the moment the CTs are completely unaware of their current position. Of course, from the T perspective as well, they don't actually know how deep towards short that the CT side are currently playing, and already looking like a little bit of a rotation back just to make sure of that. Nobody towards long, so Anna isn't going to spot anything as of yet, but Pan, however, will, and finds a pick over onto that short spot.
Marin spotted out the barrel. She has the read. The timing's everything. Gets the slaughter off. 2 down and out. And she tags them and bags them. And her teammates now looking to try and further that push. They overwhelm the defense towards the site. Bazina has been finished off. A follow-up frag coming through as they are being assaulted by the AKs. And Shalina is the only one that remains. A 1 versus 2. Org reloaded. Is she going to be able to bail them out of the scenario they've been left in? Roll with the cards that have been dealt towards long. It could have been there, Tom. She was low. A single connection with the Org would have taken her down. Instead, it changes the entire pace of the round. She has to charge in with the AK. Slaying. Lolita will hit the DECK. Casts out the nade as well. Terrifying the AWPer. She has time here. Falls back. Got a kit. Taps it to try and draw the face. If she peeks, the AWP will win it. Anila will connect that one. 4 rounds now picked up on the T side.
Yeah, an important victory, Jolina. Looked like she had a good opportunity there. And after her performance on the previous map, you almost believed in that opportunity to win the round. By the looks of things, though, the CTs are still going to go for an investment into this one. It is weird with the purchases they sort of go for, because this isn't all in for most of the players, but it is for Bazina, so...
Yeah, that's not going to be great for the economy.
I wonder if, like, we see this a lot on the T side, where you get a catalyst rifle, but obviously then you have the chance of getting the bomb down to sort of give you that bonus cash. At the same time, maybe she'll be playing a closer angle that will work with the SMG, and you could sort of argue, okay, if I can do enough damage that I can reduce the economy on the other side. Same time, it's not really the case. The T's actually have a bit of bank built up, so yeah. Always the chance that it was just a bit of miscommunication and she thought there was going to be a force buy. Either way, we'll see if she can do anything with the rifle. Bring up some damage into this round. If not, just carry it on into the next. Pan going aggressive in towards the connector, pushing forward. And there isn't really anybody around this angle to catch her off. She'll hear the rotation of Lolita, but the fact is that could be a little bit of a false positive as the rest of the team are all the way through long. Now, she's heard the footsteps going towards the B site. The question is, did she hear them go back? I think she did, and she may even flank in onto her opponent.
Hila with a double kill. Kills Cammy and Bazina. Finding that headshot. Marion as well. Being able to assault them towards the site. And it just falls to 2 CTs that remain at this point. Gabby, not quite clearing towards the right. Should be detected. No! Gabby! The flick of the wrist. Beats down Kitty Cat. It won't amount to too much in the end, but points for style there, Tom.
Yeah, no, a nice little flick back. Obviously, Anna closing out the round in similar fashion. And I'm guessing, yeah, that must be a drop of the FAMAS, because she had like $6,000 odd in the bank. Instead, going to throw that over. So they will still have that sort of opportunity. As I said, it looked like it was a bit of a an attempted damage round. Instead, they're going to juggle weapons around, and they can still get the AWPs in play. And an early-ish pause as well coming out from Pain, which I like to see. Like, give themselves a little bit of time to sort of talk this one through and, okay, say, what's been going wrong so far? Where have we been caught out? What are the adjustments that we can make? And I think that's always important, like, very early in the game, because if you let it get to the 7-8 rounds and then you call your pause, well, at this point, you can't even win the half.
It's not a great spot to be in if you let things get so out of hand. It is good to see the pauses. We've actually seen quite a few throughout the series so far, and you see a lot of teams actually struggle. Even top teams at certain times will actually fail to utilize those pauses when it gets out of hand. It normally is about sort of the 5-6 round mark, because then obviously you've had those buy rounds. So it's not as if you haven't actually had a full chance to play it out and you've been on the back pedal because of your economy. You had those actual correct rounds to play, and clearly things haven't been working out the way they wanted them to. At this point now, it seems that we're seeing quite a heavy pickup with the Orgs. 3 Orgs in play. This could give them a benefit. Obviously the drop farm is there for Bazina as well, because the round where she did go with the M4 investment. Cammy on the AWP. In terms of Cammy's AWPing CT side on Nuke, it was pretty good. Pretty defensive there. Towards ramp, she was able to keep them at bay. We saw countless legs, if not kills, that were picked up to at least slow down the push. I thought we might actually try and see her go for a fast pick towards mid there, but instead, playing towards long, she's gone for the self-boost up, and will be holding Overwatch, just looking down.
Default round thrown in from Orgless. They seem to be pretty good at, like, at the beginning of the round, they don't take any aggressive faces. They're pretty happy to just play into these sort of setups, clearing angles methodically, and you don't have even like the face into middle, which is one of the more sort of common aggressive plays that the teams make, try and take down that AWP peeking, but instead they're just not giving Pain any opportunities to find that early pick, and especially with a map like Overpass where you can go for those like quick rotations, it can work out very nicely. Obviously, peek towards long is actually net a kill for the CT side, and now this allows them to keep their sort of presence over towards the toilets. The only problem is, like, the aggressive AWPing allowed them to have a little bit more in play. Instead, they've had to, like, sort of check both angles. Marion, in the meantime, again, probing over towards that B site. She's been very good so far at finding a lot of information out and stealing the B site without anybody really being there. Obviously now, CT side, we're going to put a few more personnel on that side of the map.
Yeah, the bouncers have come in, Tom. You're not getting in here without an ID. Bazina. She spotted them out. She gets that read. She knows 2 players have doubled down back through connector. It is going to be a B-site bombardment, but Gabby, can she display a glorious round? Doesn't seem like she even needs to at the moment, as Bazina and Shalina are doing damage. Anna and Lolita, the only 2 that remain on that side. Aggression coming through. They will get the bomb down in just the nick of time. 8 seconds remained as it was planted. Pan, fast through Monster. She's playing this one very slow. The trigger discipline walks her way out. Gets a nice flick across Lolita with a confidence, Tom. Bogdan's Law as well. She's picked up the AWP. This is the most ideal situation. They've tried to bait her out with a fake plant. She's spotted, but she misses the shot, Tom. 14 HP. This gives them a chance. Pan, fumbling with the grenades, though. How does she opt to play it? Catches her as she rotates back around, but she's thrown it away. There's no time. She had no kit, Tom.
That is a painful, painful round, and excuse the pun, because that was one they never should have lost. Was that 5v2?
Yeah.
That was just poor in the end from Pain. They had everything in the advantages, and I was about to praise the fact that you see the player actually aggressive on the B site fall back into the pit, but had no cover. The other thing has to be mentioned, Lolita's play in that round was incredible. Pure aggression, already low HP, just takes the fight versus multiple players and manages to win them out, and without her heroics, they never would have had that round. So, obviously, you gotta say, Pain should have won it, but props to Lolita for stealing it.
Yeah, commendations to the heroism, because you have to make those calls in that sort of situation. She did, and it paid off. In terms of it paying off, though, in Pain Gaming try and reset things here. They could deny the plant if they go for the extension around. Shalina, though, is trying to play it safe. Walking her way through the smoke. Has actually got out behind them. There's a player behind her, though, she hasn't realized. Doesn't actually find the frag, Tom, but her teammates are still doing damage for her. As now it falls into a 2 versus 3. Can they salvage this round? The T is coming up through short. The slam is coming through. The defuse will be found. And Anna will be taken down as well. Bazina with 2 tasty kills into that one. As they do go 6-1. Finally, Pain Gaming make their mark on the round.
Yeah, the problem is the T's are still coming back to bombard them once again. Their economy has taken a nasty hit, though. Bear in mind that in the last round, no one survived. Every single player for Orgless died, and that's left their economy with a bit of a hole. But in this round, they're absolutely fine. They've got the AWP. Okay, Galil onto Kitty Cat is not ideal, but she's got a hell of a lot of utility behind it. And on the CT side, that's something they really don't have the luxury of. That's why we're seeing such aggressive pushes in towards water, but it's worked.
1 minute and 28 seconds here on the clock. The T's, they've already lost Marion. And they are starting to slow it down so slightly. We can actually see the connector control coming through there. This could be awful. Alita spots out Pan. No reaction. She had no idea they had that map control now. And it re-equalizes the situation as we hit the minute mark. There is still potential for Orgless. And if they find that reset round, Tom, it's going to be a recipe for disaster for Pain Gaming.
Yeah, whichever side pretty much loses this round is going to be in trouble, but more so for Pain as they are, well, so far down on the scoreboard as well. 6-1 in favor of the T's. Obviously, we still look at Overpass as a slightly CT-sided map. Like, you expect to see the higher rounds pulled in. Obviously, it does switch regularly. We are just going to be watching the T's slowly make their way forward. They have the smoke ready, which will be able to sort of isolate off this AWP, and now Anna set up on the angle. They don't really need to throw down the utility. Ela are also waiting on towards the toilets as well. They're going to take some aggression. The timing just about works out. And now Anna is left alone. 1 versus 4, turn 3. She has so many more players to find. Looking to try and round the corner, but ready and waiting. The CT still hits the shot anyway, but there is Sholina to trade out the kill. Pain have a second, and well, now they have a little bit of a breather as well.
It's a good round from Sholina, though. And we need to see that coming out. I mean, she was such a star player on Nuke. The impact she had was absolutely phenomenal. If we start seeing a repeat occurrence of that, that's when it will start to fall into the danger zone, really, for Orgless. Back onto the Glocks, though. Limited. 2 P250s coming out. 2 flashes and a HE there. Already, we see the first pick being found by Cammy. Finally going for that fast face towards mid on the deviation back as well. Fires out another warning shot. Good use of the utility to completely break up this push and isolate the T's. They're scarpering away now, Tom.
Cammy with a slight miss shot, but you know the T's are not going to be fighting that one. Long control going to be kept, and they are just looking to make their way through the toilets. Bazina waiting close. Now, if they round the other corner at the same time, there's a chance they can isolate her, but she's able to spin around and double up. A flawless round for Pain, an important one at that. They want to be really building into this half, and this is where we actually see now some economy coming into their pockets. The same can be said for Orgless, though, as they now have the finances to buy into this next round. They're not going to have the AWP on Anna, who has actually been throwing in a nice couple of kills. Although I would say a lot of them seem to be in after-plant situations. It's not necessarily been the openers. It's still a weapon that you want to see in her hands, and it's not going to be the case right now.
It just expands your repertoire a little bit of the things you can potentially get up to.
Yeah.
And it could give them an extra angle of attack that might help them out ever so slightly. Instead, though, as you touched on, it is going to be the 5 rifle buy. Still seeing that UMP being held on there for Bazina. Been very effective, even when the firepower in her hands hasn't been the most beneficial. She's been very confident with it.
Already, connector control going to be challenged, and Short being taken. The peek out from Pan will actually net Gabby the first kill with the help from her friend, but that's enough. 2 early kills for the CT side in a trade of 1, and already the T's. This is the problem when you get into these sort of rounds, when the CT start gaining in confidence and taking fights aggressively. This is where the T's start to worry about where they have to recheck as they go through. Like, you can see Kitty get here very wary of party. Like, an aggressive party push is somewhere that she's currently questioning. Obviously, she needs to do that just in case there is information in that direction, but it spends a lot of time sort of checking all of those angles. She's going to throw out a little bit of a fake smoke over towards the A side and try and bait some players away from B. By the looks of it, though, it's not going to do a thing.
Rotation. She links up with the rest of her squad, going through Monster. They'll entry out first. Oof. The instantaneous tag, they're being softened up, but they're actually going to be the ones to find the initial entry frag. The nade being cast out that does so much damage. Lolita, the power play, she's been always the one to try and take the aggressive push each and every time. Drags it back into a 2 versus 2 now, but her teammate goes down. Kitty Cat has been slain, and it is all up to her in a 1v2, Tom.
Yeah, this is the tough scenario. One of them does have an AWP, so there's a chance of the isolation peeks out, but now all the information's gathered and she's left completely blind, not finished off just yet. I think Cammy maybe just taking her time, and Charlena will be there for the defuse. 4 in a row now for Pain, and I'm starting to get a little bit of deja vu. Like Orgless, they started really strong on the T side of the previous map, and then we just saw a streak of rounds. I think it was, what was it, 8 rounds in a row came in for Pain before they were eventually broken?
I believe so, yeah.
Or did it go even further? I think it was a lot of rounds in a row either way. And it's starting to happen again. Like 4 in a row.
Well, that was the thing. We saw Orgless, reach the 4 mark. At that point, Pain Gaming had 3 rounds on Nuke. They then projected themselves onto 6. Pain Gaming got the whole way up to 11 rounds before we then saw anything out from Orgless. It was very one-sided at that point. And we saw the audacity they had to get more and more outlandish the more rounds they picked up as well. And it's starting to happen again.
Yeah, like we're seeing a lot more sort of re-peaks from players and challenging in fights. Obviously, this round's an eco round, so it's a little bit different. But even just take the last round, like to jump down into the connector, open the door straight away and go for the peak, like completely just ignoring the fact that there was someone behind. Just wanting to make sure that took those fights with the team, and yeah, I enjoy it. Like it's good to watch. At the same time, if your team has like a deep strategy book on the T side, a lot of the time, if you're patient, you can counter this.
It's one of those as well, where for Orgless, even though this is their map pick, for me, this T side, they still need a little bit more. You need to try and actually add to that, because the T side is where you really can just be completely shut down. T side overpass, you're so limited, there really isn't that much you can actually do in terms of ingenuity. You know, you have the 2-step rotation smokes you can do, where you can smoke towards toilet, smoke over by the path. You can utilize that and change up the strategies you're going to be doing to try and keep them guessing on their toes. But when it comes down to it, if you start getting just completely blocked out and do not find those entries, you get denied towards B, you get denied towards A, which is something that purely can be won off the back of just individual strength. You really start to question what is there we can actually do. So that T side, it really can be a fickle mistress, Tom.
Yeah, and the problem, we're seeing the same sort of problem that we saw in the previous map, where Pain now have money. They've got the finances. They have AUGs behind them, an AK for Charlena, which obviously was picked up. Cammy as well with the AWP and almost $10,000 to rebuy it into the next round if needed. So this is where Orgless, like, 1 round wouldn't even be enough. Like, they'd have to sort of try and streak a few together to break the economy. Obviously, if they do that, then they'll be sat at a brilliant scoreline on the T side. And even 6 rounds is not bad, but it's just, we spoke about it previously, it's the way that it happened. If you sort of start well and then it slowly fades away, that's where problems can rely going into the second half. However, Anna's back on the AWP and Anna's back fragging.
We need to see that coming out. She has the AWP in her hand. She can get some very tasty little openers. 1 minute and 20 seconds here. They start to roam their way back up long towards the A site. Cammy will be there. Looks like she's just going for the jump spot behind the van to try and get the read if she can spot anyone out. Ela would be the first point of contact if they do go for this. They've got the AWP. Actually going to boost her over. She should spot her just going for the jump face. Oof. She could hit this. She fired too early, Tom.
Yeah, doesn't quite manage to get that second pick. Of course, still the advantage stuck with Orgless for now. Still just under a minute left on the clock. There's only going to be 2 players onto this A site. If they split quickly, there shouldn't be too much that these remaining players could do. They do still have a bit of utility behind them, and this is something we saw in the first match versus Assassins, that Pain were very good at holding on to their utility. The only problem is sometimes the faster plays caught them out quite badly, but for now, Orgless still playing slow. Charlena in the corner, evens things up straight away. That's the bomb drop. That's all the information they need for the rotations. The problem is the CTs are a little bit far behind. Cammy up close, able to find one. It's the battle of the AWP. It spins around and gets the second on the no-scope as well. Leaves it down to just 1 Lolita. This turns so quickly from a 5 versus 4 to now, well, a 2v1, as she has to try and be the hero once again. But look at the clock. 9 seconds left on it. The CTs know it as well. And Cammy, wow, she won that round for her team. Great impact. A little bit lucky, of course, but sometimes that's what you get the biggest plays from.
ridiculous. I mean, the ideology was there. You push through the smoke, you get behind them. However, right in front of her, there's an enemy. Pulls that trigger, blows them away. Beautiful round. Absolutely impactful. And that's what we needed to see coming out, because those sort of rounds are really what's going to push you over the edge. Now tied up 6-6. If they can carry on like this, get themselves into a 9-6 position at the half, it would be absolute madness moving on to that T side. They would just need to really try and carry on to run away with things. Connect to control here being the keys. The T's start to push their way through. We've also got two players grouped up outside of Monster. The door is open. There is a jump spot in play. Bazina trying to get the read across. Went for the double jump. Not sure if she did actually spot it out. Looks like we are seeing these smokes being set up as well. Kitty Cat, I believe she's gone for the upper smoke. We saw the Molotov towards bridge. Here comes the push. Trades galore as everyone is being picked off. Bazina. Brutal stuff, Tom. The Org is looking effective, but unfortunately, her reign of terror has been ended.
And the rotation is already in, though, from the remaining CT players. Molotov going to fall into the cover. You can see that's where Marion wanted to go. Oh, and she's now caught out by Pan, peeking in through the smoke. And the problem is that it's not like the bomb's been ticking. Kitty now has to try and take the fights, wants to even it up beforehand, and Cammy has just not been missing over the last few rounds. She has $14,000 in the bank. Yep. And normally, the only way that happens is just by not dying at all. 14-6 at the moment. And she's been one of the main reasons we've seen a turnaround from Pain again. What was it, 6-0?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at this point we've just seen them just completely on the trot the whole way through, right? Because that's what we spoke about. The fact that previously we saw them get to that 6-round mark on Nuke, and that was it. That was just where it was almost as if they hit a mental block, Tom.
Yeah. Well, now they've met Gabby as well. Yeah, it has been, just decided to check, it has been 7 rounds in a row now for Pain. And this is what I mean, it's like, for Orgless obviously getting that 6-0 start, like if you take a 9-6 half on face value, it's not bad, it's fairly average on Overpass. If you get 6 rounds and then you lose 9-6, that's a very, very different story, even though the scoreline is exactly the same, because you've then lost 9 rounds in a row. You're going to be demoralized. You think, like, 6-0 up, how have we lost this half? Yeah. Like, you want to at least win the half at that point. So, I think Orgless actually need these last couple of rounds more than Pain do, and that sounds weird because Pain are over on that CT side, but well, they may not get that opportunity anyway. It's going to be the push, looking to come back in. No AWP once again for Anna. It's just the bare bones rifle, as lots of their utility is gone. They have a couple of Molotovs available, but they're just going to go sneaking into the site.
Kitty Cat, normally very effective player with a rifle. Could have been awkward. She dinked down Cammy, then fully committed to finish her off. Is going to be committing to the bomb plant as well. Orgless. They've got site control. It's a 4-on-4. Marin and Cammy have been removed from the equation. Pound on the rotation. Back around. Rapid fire damage as she will make quick work there of Kitty Cat. She can go for a tasty little pop flash out as well. Blind the opposition. This could work, Tom. However, she didn't realize the close angle was being utilized by Lolita. They're trying to push their way back on towards the site, but the T's are keeping them at bay. And again, awkward from this point onwards. However, Elo will be able to save it. 7-7, it's tied up as they are being slaughtered by the Kalashnikov. The Org save will come through as well. Lunacy.
Yeah, and it is interesting to note that Kitty Cat, as we spoke about, was the sort of high-impact player in the previous map. That was her second kill that we saw just then. That's madness, absolute madness. So definitely not having the same performance, but still, they've got 7th round. I think that round's going to be a big pick-me-up after what was 7 in a row for Pain. I think if they can end it with the last couple, then they'll go into the next half fairly confident. If not, then it will still be a fairly even game, but the scoreline doesn't necessarily suggest a poor performance from Orgless at all. Like, both sides have had their streaks already. Sholina tagged low. Galil's still going to be in play for Kitty Cat, but they've got a lot more utility this time around. Obviously, no trouble for Cammy to get the open. She pretty much spent our whole bank account in this one, like 14,000 down the toilet, but it is round number 15.
Spend it all. Splash the cash. Beautiful HEs, though. 2 nades for over 150 damage there, nearly. It's very effective stuff. The math might be off, but the nades definitely weren't.
You know, math's hard. I don't think it was far off, though.
We're pretty close.
Only like 120.
Yeah.
Wow. Tease, again, they're burning this clock really low. And just look, there's still an incendiary onto Cammy. Smokes as well, HEs. They may have done a lot of HE damage already, but they've still got more to go. 25 seconds left. Gabby again kicks things off, and that's the bomb down. Now the clock really is ticking for the Tees. They have to go barreling into this site with only 20 seconds left. Lolita will be able to get one, but the fact is the clock has now become a member of this Pain team, and they are putting the Pain onto this terrorist side. Kitty Cat has to just go running, and you can see she was attempting to get the bomb down. In most situations, you think that's madness, but with the amount of time she had, she didn't have a choice. Yeah,
it was plant or lose, and it didn't work out, unfortunately, the way she wanted it to. We're seeing that end on an 8-7 half there. Orgless, at least they got that extra round, right? They brought it up to an 8-7. It's not a 9-6. It's not as demoralizing. You at least were able to end out that streak, because if you think about it this way, if they went through winning 9 rounds back-to-back, they then somehow hypothetically take the pistol, that's where it really starts to beat down you mentally, and it can be horrible to be up against.
No, I think it's like pretty much the same scenario we saw on the previous map, where if Pain get off to a good start here, okay, yeah, sure, it's not quite as bad mentally as last time, but you still have to think, if you're on the Orgless side, you were 6-0 up and you lose the half, like that's got to be demoralizing, especially on your map choice. You're sort of expected to be able to get out of these sort of ruckus situations. And while, speaking of ruckus situations, oh, I like the spot of Kitty Cat. It was almost like a bait and switch. The problem is they've just gone into the B site instead, just gone barreling right in, looking to try and get that bomb down. They are going to be fighting up against Marion, who's done a lot of damage, to be fair, but bomb's still going to be planted without any sort of response, and Cammy just holding off rotations, doesn't want to allow them to get in on this flank, and they sort of have to deal with her, because otherwise she's going to be coming in on the backlines in the, well, future of this round.
Oof. There is a ton of damage done to Pain Gaming. Well, they've still got the numbers. Unfortunately, the battle of attrition, it starts to go wrong for them, Tom. 3 frags picked up now as they bombard their way back in towards the site. Cammy will kill Kitty Cat, but she is the only one that remains. They're defusing the bomb. She needs to be quick. She can't do it. They will find that defuse. If they could delay for a matter of seconds there, that could have gone the complete opposite way. Ridiculous as well. I mean, the basic ideology I wanted to go for, all 5 players through connector, up path towards the A site. Instead, because we didn't see Shalina finding that first frag, they deviate from it. They decide to just go B. It wasn't even the initial plan they wanted to go for, but the fact they got the bomb down, it was so close and it slips away. It's a lifeline for Orgless.
Yeah, now the scoreline is equalized. They've got off to this strong start once again. Now, we saw in the previous half, they managed to get 6 rounds in a row at the beginning. If they can do that again, well, they're going to be in a very good state going into what will be the latter rounds of this half. There's going to be a quick push in. The T's not investing much into this round, just a few P250s, as they will be able to buy into the next one. And already we see a lot of damage done. They're going to try and get this bomb down. I'd be impressed. It's not going to happen. But even still, an extra kill. The AKs, even the AWP can come in. That's how much damage Cammy's actually done over the last few rounds, is that she's going to have an AWP, if she wants it.
The AWP is coming out. I'm curious to see how they actually play it as well now on the T side, because this is that full round. Both sides are fully equipped. They're decked out. Okay, so Gabby going over towards B, playing outside of Monster. Cammy instantly tagged in that early confrontation, Tom. Brought down to 62 HP as they get that first read. We've got 2 players pushing up to try and gain connector control. They can slip out, work their way up short in the late run if they need to. We did see an info push on short. However, the CTs are backing up towards the site now. They're giving up that control they took early on.
Yeah, the buy out from Orgless definitely got some pieces missing, even though they were the ones to win themselves the last couple of rounds. Obviously, the CT side can be quite costly, and saving themselves a little bit of extra cash with the weapons that they currently have. Anna's only going to be on a glass cannon AWP, but they're going to take the initiative. Look at this aggression all the way through Monster, making their way forward. This will give a hell of a lot of information over to their teammates that, well, the likelihood is it's either going to be connector or it's going to be A. Those are the only 2 options available to them, as all the way through T-spawn goes Marion, making their way onto the flank. And look at where the bomb is. She could literally end this round in its track if she could just catch the bomb pushing forward. She's seen it, and that's it down. Now there's 35 seconds left. Pain have got to go running. They've got to try and get this bomb back. Now, they have managed to achieve that, but they don't know where Marion is. She's repositioned. They They will be waiting, but they can't really afford to take these fights. They just don't have the time anymore, and Marion knows it. She even just making noise here is going to be infuriating for the T side, and then she pushes them right into the arms of her teammate. Even still, with 15 seconds left, the T's are going to make their way towards this site. They've got to try and negate that AWP, and even then they don't know that Kitty's just waiting. The pop flash, though, is magnificent. However, it's not going to matter. There is not enough time unless she gets the kill! Right in the depths! Jolina gets 3! How did they get away with that round?
That is filth.
Your face says it all. You're just like, what?
It's ridiculous. Shalina, I mean, we spoke about it. 31 frags, right, in the previous map. She was just absolutely popping off. She was a harbinger of death, just constantly being able to really drag them over the finish line the majority of rounds. Now into this game, big impact. That's a glorious round to win in a show-stopping fashion. She had a bit of a tilting round against her in the prior one. If that's one that's going to break your mental, Tom, that was it.
I think she's got 3 kills in like 6 seconds.
Yeah, that was a frenzy kill.
Nuts. Oh, that's enough to make this game very interesting once again. Obviously, both teams are going to be taking a hit when it comes to the purchases, and by the looks of things, I think Marion has taken, like, the ultimate sacrifice. Like, she is literally playing a 5-7, and she has handed an AWP over to Anna. Now, Anna is currently the player right at the top of the board, performing well, but that's still a big hit to take. Like, normally you'd at least have some Kevlar or maybe a rifle or something dropped over. From what I saw when we were just, like, sitting there with the pause screen, she only had a 5-7 and a smoke.
And that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, the cash they have going into this one is going to be pretty lackluster. You've got to make do with what you can, as we will actually see that buy popping back up in a sec. And yeah, okay.
She has an extra flashbang as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not amazing.
No.
They do have 1 kit at the very least. It's going to be able to help them out when we do see that late round situation coming through. And there's that 2 smokes I was talking about as well. It can really keep you on your toes. You throw both of them out. It's one of those where it keeps the paranoia going, because even if you aren't going for the same play each time, you see those 2 smokes and it causes you to think, okay, we know they do this or they do this, and you really can't pinpoint it. They're quite common now.
Well, T-side. They are going to get their aggressive push on towards that short position.
Okay.
Taking quite a bit of control, spamming early on to see if they can find anything initially, but CTs are going to be far more passive. They're relying on Anna with the AWP, and as of yet, she isn't going to be able to spot anything trying to jump peek. I don't think she saw anything then either. The timing just wasn't quite there for her. Now, she does have support, and more interestingly, the push coming through from Kitty Cat could be enough to end this round in its tracks. She's managed to find the opening pick, looking for a little bit more with the AWP, and again, she's just going ham. Obviously, Marion is almost just like the support here with that 5-7 just hiding into the corner. Isn't going to be able to find anything just yet, but Anna's just playing as the sort of big distraction. Gabby will be able to remove Marion from action, but it's Ela coming in to sort of double down and leaves it all on to Gabby. 1 versus 3 chance of this is slim. She still manages to find Kitty Cat from behind, and this actually gives her a chance to get the bomb down. The problem is she's probably going to get pushed. The spam through hits her, but not for enough damage to finish her off or even leave her out of this round. He still has an opportunity here. Spots out Anna. Remember, Anna has no armor and is going to go for the shot and actually hits her through it again. 2 wall bangs is enough to close down Gabby, and that will be Orgless hitting themselves a 10th.
Wow. Anna's AWPing there, being able to hit so many impactful shots, just really being the brick wall, right? Just denying anyone entry towards that site. Time in, time out, hitting all those connections. It's a double wall bang as well. Anna setting a precedent. You highlighted her in the first map, and she is really starting to shine bright now going through. Hopefully she isn't a candle that burns twice as bright for half as long. She needs to be able to maintain this, Tom, because she is really a divine force right now for Orgless.
Yeah, I think obviously this is the map where you normally see like the strong and dominant AWPers step up. A lot of opportunities for an AWP over on that A site especially, and she definitely did that in the last round, and it was a crucial round at that. And now she's going to be given the sort of shooting range to try and fire off on. Obviously not wanting to go too over-aggressive here with that AWP. It's not worth handing that into the opponent's hands, and well, Gabby will be able to take it down, but at this point, she's bought enough time. That AWP will easily be retrieved going into the next round, and well, they're pretty much done the job that was needed of her.
Yeah, an effective round. They did save the AWP as well. Stack can be passed back over. We have a pause coming through. This should be Pain Gaming's pause. Obviously, Orgless are ahead now, 11-9. Finally started to actually build a bit of distance between the two teams as we really saw them fall quite quiet after they'd hit that 6 rounds mark. Now finally in a position where they look dominant again. They're on the CT side. And that is the worrying factor as well, because these sort of rounds where you're hitting that brick wall and you start to feel like we can't get in towards that A site, it plagues you. And it does stay on your mind. Pain, talking about things now, they need to come back in, switch things up, try and hit them with potentially a bit of a change in tempo. Because Cammy was looking so effective on the CT side. Once they have the sustainability to try and get the AWP back on her, possibly try and go for the firefight. See if they can find the opening pick. We have actually seen the AWP passed over to Ela as well there from Anna.
I wonder if they have 2. Because Anna has spent $5,700, so
that should be the AWP buy in question.
Yeah. They had one already, so maybe she's bought up another. In which case, the double AWP setup, I would hope, like just based off what I can see, the Pain would go for something quicker. Obviously, they don't know that there's a double AWP setup in play. If it is, obviously we can't really see what's going on at the moment. But if that is the case, then yeah, that would be the ideal strategy. But obviously, I've got something that they don't, which is the ability to see what everybody else has got. So,
well, we didn't have that before.
Yeah, beginning of last map, we didn't have that, but we have got it now, thankfully. Then, well, props to the production for fixing everything so quickly while the game was on.
Well, Tom, 11-9. I imagine you are correct. There should be that secondary up there. Because I'm not too sure what... Yeah, there it is, right? What is that? No, it's an M4S.
Oh, no, there you go. Ela just hadn't dropped it yet. So it is going to go back into the hands of Anna. I thought maybe it was going to be spawn-based, but yeah, I said earlier, like we don't see too many silenced M4s anymore. It's only like the specialist players. Like you won't see Scream using anything else. Like that's his gun. So I always look forward to seeing someone who's opting for that overall weapon, which is basically being announced as overpowered in comparison to the other alternatives. Either way, Anna once again, this time over towards the B site. She's found that opening pick. She's been giving the advantage over to Orgless, and you can somewhat see that maybe she's one of the reasons they sort of lean towards this map as the one of their choice, because I would say on Nuke, she played all right. In this, she is playing a much better game on that CT side.
We shouldn't have as many opportunities here to actually even get the AWP out and go for these more sort of free-roam picks. She looks very much off the leash, you know, allowed to really roam and do whatever she wants into this one, whereas before it seemed like she was quite limited in her potential plays, and it's been damn effective. You know, for the most part, she has really just been single-handedly denying any entry towards the A site, now being able to actually go for those early entry picks, shut down Gabby immediately into this one. It's good stuff.
Well, we do see a little bit of probing over towards that A site coming out from Bazina. But the rest of the team still just lurking outside this B site. I wonder if it is just going to be a sort of fake and then start to lean back. The problem is, as we can see, the Molotov's still being expended by the CT side. There's 35 seconds left on the clock. They still have utility to spare. The question is it going to be utilized at the right time? Nice little crossfire here from the CT side. Marion's going to be the sort of first point of contact. Then Lolita's able to peek out. Still, though, Sholina straight through the gap in the smoke. Looking to have another one of those big rounds. It's her and Bazina to actually find the openings here and almost catching out Ela as well, who's tagged low. But she does hit the timing right to get themselves back into this round. And the bomb actually still yet to go down. Luckily, Sholina will be there on the defense, but again, she's traded by the CT side and leaves it on to this 2v2.
It's all to play for. Potential for it to be anyone's round. Cammy, tons of damage, but it will not matter, Tom. They fight their way through. A combined total of 18 HP between the two players here, as they will get that round. Orgless, the confidence to just charge in on the retake and make that one work. And of course, who else would it be but Anna as the real survivor there. So effective into these rounds.
Yeah, it's worth noting as well that in the games earlier, I think it was the last map, Ela did not have a good performance. She's now the second top fragger in the whole server. 22 and 12. She's up there with Anna. It was the one we've been highlighting, I think, because she's been having a lot of the sort of like early kills in these rounds. But when it comes to the later round, it seems that Ela's the one in the clutches.
It's weird as well that this is the game where actually Kitty Cat is pretty much having quite a quiet game. 6 frags, right? Whereas, I mean, in reality, both of us did kind of highlight her as a player that can do a ton of damage, and she was very effective on Nuke. Towards that upper site, on average, at least a 2K. Sometimes we did see 3Ks to deny the push.
It's hard to say at the time.
Yeah, because you know, she was doing a lot, but we didn't really know it was her because everyone was Cammy for a while.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, she had a huge game. She's actually been one of the players in the female scene that you know I've always sort of known for that role as well, with a rifle as being quite effective. And you know, 6 to 17 right now, definitely having a slower affair, but it doesn't matter when you've got Anna and Illa just going sick, really. Yeah,
no, they are leading by example. And although we've had a couple of rounds from Sholina where you've gone, okay, she's playing like the last, it's a much quieter affair. She's not up there with like 30 kills anymore. And I actually think that was one of the big reasons they managed to win Nuke. Like, she was just playing out of her mind in sort of every round she would have impact. So
she took them over the edge, and that's fair to say.
Well, this round, there's not much for the T's. They've just got some pistols. It's pretty much a save for the next. And while already this is just gone to hell, it is going to be Lolita spraying down 3 kills through the smoke. And I'm not sure if the bomb's peeking out through the edge. It won't really matter in the end. Sholina, 1 HP. This would be the craziest clutch I've ever seen in Counter-Strike if she managed to pull this one off. And it's not going to happen. Instead, it will be Lolita. To pad her stats a little bit, 4 kills for her as well. T now takes her tally to 17. We now see Orgless 3 rounds away from taking us to a 3rd.
Well, I got the AWP back out on Cammy. And Anna, she looks like she is going to be going for the fast face once again. We've seen her do this in the past. This time there'll be no one there to greet her. However, the connector control is instantly being seized. They are bombarding their way through. It's a rapid shot taken towards the B site, Tom. The smoke is down to try and block it off, but Bridge is completely open, giving that line of sight to Marion, but she misses the early shot. Lolita playing around the smoke, the 30 bullet M4. She can try and slam her way through it. But Hila will be the one to deal the damage at first. 2 frags found. Already adding to that, a further headshot picked up. A glorious display. And finally, Lolita reveals her trap card, but it don't matter. Tom, it was all set up for her. The start of the line, but it's gone down in a matter of seconds. Kitty Cat on the re-entry. We said she was underperforming at the minute, but she looks to try and have a showstopper now. Kills the first. Advances, looking for the final member of Pain Gaming. Gabby, 73 HP. Taps the bomb to force the face. The smoke has gone down as well. Gabby, there's a gap there. She gets the vision. The Molotov, she had no idea. She has not seen Gabby. The walk through the smoke, but she spots her. That's the headshot. And another round picked up for Orgless. A big play from Kitty Cat. Madness there. Complete chaos.
Yeah, that's not really a clutch that should have been needed. Like, that was definitely a mistake from Lolita. Like, obviously she played it perfectly up to that point, but then just unable to kill the player that was facing the wrong way and looking to plant the bomb. That is a big mistake. But luckily for her, Kitty Cat is there to bail her out and have one of those impactful rounds that we saw over on the previous map. Still though, bomb going down. Pain are not going to let anything go. They will be going straight for another aggressive push towards this B site. So much damage done again. The utility just doing the work for Orgless in the early situations in this round, and they just don't seem to want to stop. They're going to keep running into this B site. They're going to keep taking these aggressive fights. Hila has been fantastic so far, but now she needs to do something ridiculous, and it's not going to be happening. Anna should just be running away. Like, this is not worth it. Like, you're not going to win a 1v4. Surely this is impossible.
Never say never, Tom. Anna, the 1 versus 3. No, it was not there. Never say never. Never.
Yeah, that is a bold decision to make, especially when like, you've got to rebuy an AWP. The rest of your team's economy, it's not bad, but like, not everybody had a huge amount of cash, so you're going to see Lolita forced down to a FAMAS, and that's all their money gone. It's
actually kind of risky, because if they lose this round, this could start getting really rough.
Yeah, and like, great that she's feeling confident enough to challenge a 1v4, but like, realistically, that was never going to be a victory. Like, that was a big attempt. Still, though, she comes right back. The confidence has definitely not faded after that attempt, and she will now be finding the opening kill, taking the initial pick onto Gabby. And this actually opened up quite a bit of space now for the CT side. Like, the T's have just fallen away. They've gone, okay, the orb's over there. I'm just going to go the other way then. Long it is.
Trying to gain that long control. Slowly creeping their way up. Anna. Rotate her way back over. She has been very much on the move. She's playing more of that roam rotation role with the AWP. They've actually gone for the boost up as well. She's peering deep in towards long. See nothing there. Fast rotation back, and that is a great call. Just at the timing coming in here, they've realized we've seen nothing at long. We've had no contact, no utility utilized from the T side either towards this A site. Double back, played towards the B site as support. They're set up to deal with this, Tom.
Opportunity missed, and T's now look to execute. Marion able to get the opener, but Cammy's back with two of her own. Doesn't need the AWP to find those opening picks. Smoke going to be going down for the bomb to try and get towards it. Anna's already rotated in from above, looking to try and almost Gatling gun them down with that AWP, and although it comes close with the timer, they have enough time to plant that bomb. Anna now being boosted up. They really are relying on her to be the one to find those opening picks, but as of yet, nothing found, but hits the headshot onto Bazina. Gives the advantage over to this CT side as they look to push back in. Cammy's managed to find her third kill of the round, really looking to try and do this all herself. Jolina will chime in with a double though, and Payne, that's what has been caused. Look at the economy. This is where that risk just doesn't seem about. Okay, maybe one AWP save wouldn't have made a huge difference here, but it's extra cash. It's something extra also going into the next round where money could be an issue.
I mean, exactly, because it's the potential here. We're going into this. We could have at least had a couple of pairs of P250s. We could have had Anna on some kind of a rifle buy. If not, having that extra money, she would have had to literally grab that AWP and go for a hero play, potentially. Yep. Instead, that's not even an option. And she has been the hero. Yeah. She has, by far, had the most impact over and over and over again. And this is just going to be a Gabby slam down, surely.
Oh, given an opportunity, but actually, no. Lolita will finish her off. The other thing to mention is, like, even if you remove like the audacious plays of like a Catalyst AWP, just in the next round, like, she would have just had a load of extra money to just buy an AWP. So she's removed that weapon from her own hands in a sense, but we'll see how much of a part this plays in the game. Obviously, this round, not much. They've got that AK that they managed to retrieve, and one by one, we're slowly going to see them picked apart. Now, even with this AK being saved, they would literally have to do the same play that they did previously, where basically one of the players takes a ludicrous hit. And even then, I don't think they're going to have enough to actually buy an AWP.
In terms of things that are worrying as well, Shalina now, 3 kills into this one, 21 frags. She's starting to, you know, get back into that mindset, because we've seen it where it really does seem as almost as if once she takes that confident hit, she slows down the tempo a little bit. She isn't as willing to go for those wide faces. When she does start to get on a roll, she really goes for it. And, I mean, she can back it up. Some of the shots she's been hitting are crisp, Tom.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to be facing off against that, I'll be honest. But yeah, another triple for her, as you mentioned, and the difference down to just 2. This is, of course, Orgless map pick, but that sort of goes out the window when you're considering that if Payne win, it doesn't matter whose map it was, Orgless are out of the competition. Like, that'll be at day 1. Well, they won't even make it to the sort of late evening. It's 5 PM here in Poland. I think they want to get a little bit further than that. They at least want to get themselves to that 3rd map, because they do not want to go into a tournament and not win a map.
No, no. I mean, it would be an absolute display, though, from Payne if they were able to, you know, prove over this period of time we've stuck together, and this is what we can do. We've come back again, and this time we've dominated. Bazina and Shalina, Tom! The 2 entries that have been found, but Kitty Cat, she's whipped out the claws.
Yeah, in from behind, and actually she's going to net a 2nd as well. This has brought this round back into contention. It was looking done. The T's with that double entry onto the B site, bomb down after plan, and thinking, okay, this round is over, but Kitty Cat finally springing into life and giving them a chance. Marion needs to win this battle, though. Looking at peek round the corner, she does. Hits the instant headshot onto Cammy and gives the opportunity. The only problem is, look at that upper position. The heaven spot is going to be so difficult to clear. And obviously, if it comes back into the 1 versus 1 or 1 versus whatever, it could be a problem. But just from above, taking the fights, Bazina's actually the one to do it and deny the defusal. Marion doesn't have a kit. There's absolutely nothing she can do here. The round is done, and she may even go up with the bomb. Now, the T's, they have money to rebuy here. She has to try and get away. Otherwise, their finances are even more screwed than before.
The only survivor, Marion. She might get the AK, but the true commodity now is rounds, and unfortunately, they let it slip away, Tom. 13 rounds picked up, Pain Gaming, they're bringing it back into it. It's a 14-13 scoreline, one away from the equalization. And Orgless, in reality, it's one AK to try and keep them going. Somehow, maybe, pick up a 15th round. The likelihood of it, though, is so minimal. You can't help but feel like this is going to go 14-14. This is really Pain's Gaming game now. They're in a position where so many small nuances have brought them back to this point.
Yeah, no, this is the sort of the problems that have arisen. At least in the next round, we will see the AWP for Ana. That'll be possible, especially with Marion having that sort of saved AK into this round. It's allowed her to save even more money. Ela as well has 4,500 no matter what, so we'll definitely have an AWP.
They need it as well.
Yeah, no, she has definitely been, like, just even in terms of opening kills. Like, maybe she's not won the round. I think Ela's been a lot of the damage in terms of actually heavy picks, but she's been the one finding the openers. Now, Gabby, she's patiently waiting, even further back than before. Got caught off last time, finds the first, but now it's Marion to try and trade things back, and there's that AK. Now, that's the second onto the floor. The problem is the T's are already going in towards the A side. The other player was just a little bit of an elaborate ruse. They've got to be careful checking over towards long, because there's still a second player there, but it seems like they are going to be checking the aggro. It may not matter, though. Ela, she wanted that AK badly, and instead loses her life. Now, can anything more be done? Obviously, that AK that Marion has is actually not that valuable into the next round. They can buy anyway. Okay, Lolita's a little bit lower on cash. That may cause her to want to save this. But instead, she goes for the fight. Lolita's going to be fine. As said, Ela's got hella cash. And in fact, Ana has enough to buy her own AWP. This is it. This is crunch time. 14-14. The full 30 rounds is a minimum. The fact is, though, Pain, once again, they brought themselves back from a difficult position right back to level pegging.
Thing is as well, Tom, if there's going to be any way you close out a second map and you end a series without it going to a third, the comeback to this point would certainly be the way to do it for Pain Gaming. And this could be huge. Marion at the flashbang! She gets the read eventually, finds one frag. Bazina's been taken down, but that's an incredible amount of information. She knows about what's going down. The utility's been cast out. It's pretty much an entire stack towards the B site as well. There is 4 players hunkered down in position. Only one woman towards the A site, and they're rotating back. They've got to read from this. They realize that they don't need to instantly commit to this play that was developing. Ela as well, through the wood, being tagged up. 34 HP is all that's left on her, Tom. But they're taking it slowly as they do begin to reposition. Bear in mind, though, Pan, with the bomb, is still outside of B. Eventually starts to make her move now. They do not have any map control. They do not have any real information. They only know of the 4 players from the instant contact towards B site at the start of the round. For utility, Tom, it's lackluster as well. There's not really much to work with for them.
Yeah, both sides, in fact, have some serious limitations. We're getting down to the sort of later rounds once again. Sholina going to be throwing in the smoke over towards the A side, but you can see Ana just jump spotting. Hasn't seen anything, so there's no real reason for them to throw in any rotations. They actually do rotate a player off at least for a second, but now that push is going to begin in towards the B side. You can see Marion already rotating in. They throw the Molotov down, but actually not watching for anybody to push out, so that's given a second kill in for Orgless. Gabby now has to make a big play and actually catches Marion. Spots out a second player. They move into the same angle and just hand her a couple of kills. Again, we never seem to just have cleaner rounds for this CT side as it goes back to a 3v3.
Tom, this one is tense. A 3 versus 3, the health favoring the T's as the advance comes round. Ela taking the bridge control, finds the first, but there's the flick back around from Gabby, puts her in her place. It's a 2v2, Kitty Cat tagged up. Everyone is trading damage. They jump on the bomb. They know they've got to go for the full commit on the defuse. The peek from short. If they kill the diffuser, just after the time, Tom, they get the defuse. The 15th round is achieved. Orgless set it in stone.
Yeah, no, that was just crazy. Just to hold the defuse in that situation, just risk it all for that 15th round on the board. And while the T's, they are going to be looking to buy back into this one, but the fact is that's a round they're going to be kicking themselves for losing. Full buy on either side, and well, OT, there's a high possibility at this chance. The way that these rounds have been going, a very, very close second map, not quite like the first at all. We'll see whether or not Payton can take this to OT and challenge further on Overpass.
I'm not surprised we're seeing him deviate back towards the A site as well. Tom Anna! The only times we've seen her miss AWP shots like that. 2 misses in such close proximity. She could have denied the push towards the site. Instead, she's gifted them this. She's allowed them to take control. The utility's being cast out. 5 versus 4. The retake has to be absolutely flawless, but everyone is coming from the same 2 isolated angles. The smokes are there. The vision is in favor of the T side. They know where they're coming from, Tom. This will be a bloodbath.
Still, though, Kitty's going to be the one to actually get the first kill back into the site. Pan goes running in, but it's only going to be a 1-for-1, and Kitty she's looking for the same sort of play. She wants to go for a ninja defuse again, but she can't find the bomb. It's going to be Ela finding it instead. They need to get this person off the defusal, and I think they may just have got it. Orgless get the defuse, and it is going to be our 3rd map up and coming. Great work there once again with just these sneaky defusals right towards the end of it. Pain looking like they had the comeback set, but they couldn't quite close it out.
Lunacy, really, and it's the fact as well, the position we got into during that final round. Anna, 2 shots where it could have been 2 clean frags. That would have been the game set. Instead, it comes down to couldn't find the bomb through the smoke, the panic, the whole communication that probably would have been just in tatters at that point because there's so much going you were trying to deal with. To close it out 16-14 as well, the full 30 rounds being played out, a bit of a treat there for our 2nd map, but still just chaotic rounds, especially towards that B site. This game could have gone so many different ways.
Yeah, well, either way, it's continuing. We've got one more map. One of these teams will be going home after this short break.